Okay, this is the main bedroom, suite, bathroom. This is me, it's your home inspector. And this home is vacant, as you can see. And it's been vacant for a while. And when I got here, I opened a bunch of windows and doors. And ran the fans for a while. And continued to the exterior. So I feel good about the aerosols. And so, in order for you to hear me better, hear my enunciations and my pronunciations, I think it's just, better that you hear my nuances, my innuendos, my accent. Okay. So this is the bathroom, and if you look at these sinks, lavatories, you notice they don't have percolators, overflow drains, and they're not required. They're not required. And so if you've got children or something, wayward Uncle Bud, washing his Barbie's bathing suit or something because he's distracted by a squirrel, then if somebody was to leave, then the lavatory could overflow. You could have an event. But again, the percolators, overflow drains, they're not required. The plumbing's all pretty much straightforward. Hot's on the left, cold's on the left, cold's on the right. I've been running all of them. I haven't actually worked all of the drain stoppers, but all the faucets I have operated. Now this is a GFCI protected ground fault circuit interrupter. This is the lead unit. So if this one trips, and this should be labeled GFCI, and it's not. If this one trips, you have to reset it over here. The upstairs hall bathroom, if it trips, then they're knocking on your door. They're coming in here to reset it here. The downstairs guest bathroom, half bathroom, if it trips down there, you're coming back up here to reset it. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right. Commodes have sufficient anchorage, sufficient siphoning, sufficient clearance, anchorage. So the commodes have been performing well for us today. Well, that one didn't. I had this problem downstairs. I'm going to repeat this downstairs. I found some toilet paper in the commode downstairs. So I thought I'd do everybody a favor and flush it, and I realized that even on this number 2, see, because it's number 1 and number 2 for obvious orientation, then I still had to hold the hand down. Now, a window that's higher than 72 inches from the ground should not be closer than 24 inches to the floor. And we've got this. It's a solar screen, but you can see that. Fences are beyond the scope of this inspection, but as I look down, I see your fence posts do not have caps on them. And if you don't have caps on your metal fence posts, then water can get in there, rainwater, and then it rests at the base of the post and rots it out. This is your garden tub, which means that you don't have a jet tub. There we go. See? But what I want to show you with this one is, see how loose that is? Alright. So if you're in here working with this, it's going to move around on you. It might be annoying. Earlier I was running at more full speed. Besides just illustrating this to you, and I also noticed that there was a little bit of water hammer in there. A water hammer comes from the pipes. It's air inside the pipes, and you wouldn't think air would be that noisy, but it does make a rattling noise on occasion. I heard it. I don't just write things up just to write them up usually. This door does not have a gasket underneath it. The shower enclosure. So if you're in here, you're washing your feet and stuff, and the water's splashing around, you're gonna have. Everybody has these anyway. You're gonna take water in and out. But no, you're not supposed to have water coming out between the bottom rail and the little threshold gasket right there. You're missing your little gasket right there. Moving on along. We're going to get there sooner or later. This door has ideas of its own, I guess. Make a liar out of me. Then why did you do that? There we go. Ooh, kind of scary. There's one of your air returns, but the air filter is in the attic. I didn't do that. Come on. I think I ran this fan. These fans improperly vent to the soffit vents. They do not vent directly to the exterior. This is the hall bathroom with another fan that vents into the soffit. Second verse, same as the first. No perlator, nor is it required. No mask. Okay, and the plumbing again is pretty straightforward. Commodes are straightforward. This bathtub, the controls are fine. Again, hot and cold orientation is fine. Now, I do not do environmental inspections. Okay, but this texture is a popcorn ceiling texture. And some people think that's dated. I kind of agree. If you like it, all you have to do is paint over it. That's called encapsulation. And the EPA is good with that. I'm not doing an asbestos inspection. I'm not qualified to do an asbestos inspection, but I do know that a lot of this popcorn ceiling texture, not all of it, but a lot of it has asbestos in it. So if you do not like this texture and you do not want to paint over it, and you do not want to encapsulate it, and you want to remove it, then Junior and Juniorette need to go visit Grampy and Pappy, Granny and Pappy, whoever, Granny and Granny, So, but they need to go visit the grand folks. There you go. That's a better way to do it. And they need to go visit the grand folks, and then all this gets scraped off and sanded, and all of it gets vacuumed up, and then damp mopped, and then vacuumed again. And all while you're wearing personal protection, the face masks, and then haul it away to a hazardous waste place that's usually free, with your driver's license that says that you're a resident of that city municipality. And you know what? Until you disrupt it, it's okay. And you could have it tested, but why? If you just treated it like it was asbestos, that would be good enough. That would be good enough, just treating it. Just pretend like it's asbestos. This is the commode that was a little bit on the slow flush side I wanted to get back to. And the plumbing and everything, and stoppers. If this trips, go up to the main bedroom suite. Oh, look, we still got paper in there. Look at that. I thought I was... All right. Bye, Timmy. I thought it flushed down. I think that came back. This commode does not flush right. It's about the third time I flushed it since I've been here. And the only thing I've tried to flush is this paper right here. We're getting into the appliance section. This is the fireplace. Fire blocking plate in the attic. It does not look like it's complete. It looks kind of... I didn't get a real good close look at it. We got a gas log, gas starter. You're supposed to have a hearth extension. Out here. Excuse me. supposed to have a hearth extension. The key is right here in the firebox, and then where the burner tube comes through the firewall right there, that should be sealed. It should be sealed. And I wonder if I can get a picture of this data plate so you know you can buy parts and stuff. Let's try this. Yay! Okay, we're moving along. This is the handle. This is the handle for the damper, which works. And this is what it looks like up there. Hello. I measured it. Santa Claus can come out. And there's the key. So it needs to be, the tube needs to be sealed, and we need a hearth extension. We have a spark arrestor screen, which is not required, but we have one. That's good. We do not have an energy-saving glass front, which is also not required. So, I mean, you might want to put something up there. I don't know. Some people do. Coming along. Ice maker's making ice. I know that. The kitchen range has an anti-tip device. It has one. It just doesn't, it's not effective. I pulled it out to document that it didn't have one because it flips over. And lo and behold, there's one back there. So I thought I'd slide it back real nice and neat and, put it back like it's supposed to be. Wasn't very good at it. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. It's been working. Oven works. Broil works. The broil is in this tray down here. All right. Is it still warm? There's your broil. You can read the instructions, but I'm just reading bake and broil. Timers are beyond the scope of the inspection, but I'm not reading convection. I'm not reading self-cleaning. Now, the manufacturer's installation instructions supersedes code, and vent fans aren't even required, but since you have a vent fan, the code thinks that this corner shouldn't be any closer to this than 24 inches. Now, if the appliance is listed, like I said, manufacturer's installation instructions. So we're over here, we're listed. What are we listed in? Underwriters Lavatories. Okay. ASTM does some listing, Underwriters Lavatories. So to get the Underwriters Lavatories approval, they had to decide that the installation instructions were acceptable. And some manufacturers think that this corner shouldn't be any closer to this than 35 inches or 30 inches or something. Anyway, it's usually fine. It's usually fine. Now, if you have a big stock pot, if you're doing a lot of gumbo or something, you might want to take that into consideration because it is less than 24 inches down here. And without the manufacturer's installation instructions, I'm going to call it a deficiency, even though it might not actually be one. It's a ventilating fan. Surface light works. The filters are dirty. Dishwasher's running. Looks like it's a fairly recent installation. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. When this home was built, when this home was just in his mommy's tummy when it's being built, this is all being framed out. These boxes, called outlet boxes for switches and receptacles, they were all built so they came out a little bit. So when the drywall was installed, sheetrock, gypsum board, call it what you will, and they all fit nice and flush, and that's the way your house looks. But then we come along and we want splash back behind here, to help clean and stuff. So it comes out a little bit like this, and those boxes weren't measured for that. So what happens is that we've got these gaps right in here. Now they sell these things called extenders, They do, and I've got a link baked into my inspection report. I think it's Handy Girl, Pretty Handy Girl, something like that, and she shows builders how to, you know, do it like they're supposed to. I like her. So, and you know, they cost about $2 a piece. That's 2, 4, 6, 16. You know, you're not gonna get it for $16. They're gonna charge you tax and all that stuff. That's how they get you. But the thing is, like for like $20, they could have done it all right. That's the point. That's the point I'm getting at. That's what I'm spending all of our time on. And we expect to find another GFCI. Okay, those are on the GFCI. We expect to find another. Oh, there it is. Yahoo! And that'll be off. The island, there's no plumbing on this island or appliances. It's still on GFCI. It didn't have to be. Didn't have to be, but you know what? You can't get enough GFCI. You cannot get enough. I already tripped you. We know that'll work. That's it again. You're off. Okay, and we reset them. They'll all come back on. Let's try this one that doesn't have to be over here. I mean, this one's right by me. See, it came back. You gonna come back? Come on. Here we go. All right. So the dishwasher. Woohoo! We'll talk about it in just a moment. See this line right here? It's called a foul line. F-O-U-L. That's how us hillbillies pronounce it. Foul line. Alright, it's supposed to cascade down like this. That's a code. It's not supposed. That's where all the cooties and the germs and the bacterium and the viruses hide. But you know, I've yet to have a client. I don't have a very good rearview mirror, but I've yet to have a client call me up and say, "Hey, thanks, bud. We got that foul line taken care of." Rock on. And maybe they did. I don't know. I would never dissuade my client from seeking perfection. But the blowback you're going to get, pushback, they're going to say, just clean it with a little bleach. You know, okay? Just clean it with a little bleach. I don't know. This is the 3/4 horsepower garbage disposal, and that's the splash guard, and it's torn and compromised. It's about time for a new splash guard. The dishwasher, okay, the drain line for the dishwasher comes up. Alright, but it doesn't come up to the sink. See that? It doesn't come up high enough. So you do not have an anti-siphon loop. I'll have an illustration for your dishwasher. You could have a sink full of dirty water, and the way this arrangement is configured, it could siphon back into your clean dishes. It sure could. 3/4 horsepower garbage disposal. You got to trust me on the wiring over there. Now see this piping right here? It's crazy, huh? It's Robbie the robot. All right, man. When the home inspectors see this stuff, we go crazy. I do. And you know, you're not supposed to have a flexible drain line, except that this isn't the old school stuff. This isn't. If you'll study it, you'll see that the interior surface of this whole pipe is smooth, is what code requires. So this is the new improved version of the flexible connector. They sell them, they make them, and you know, I'm kind of impressed. It takes some getting used to looking at it. And if you're selling this home, I mean, another home inspector would come in and, you know, just, you know, red flag it. Okay, well, you red flag it, but it's nothing's wrong with it. Okay. Now, look up here. This sink is glued in place. The manufacturer had this idea. Okay, the code had this idea that you shouldn't have a foul line, and the manufacturer had this idea that you would drill holes in this and screw clips on the bottom side up into the holes, and then the clips and the brackets would hold this in place. The only thing that's holding this in place is glue. Just stick it up there with some glue, fill it, we'll put a bucket under it, we're going to the beer store. Oh my, Doug, you are the fastest. I know. That's what I'm gonna raise next week. That's the way they do it. That's the way Philip and Doug does it. Every once in a while I get a big project. I'll get some more help in. I forgot what that guy's name was. He was a good one. I'm gonna say it's Philip and Doug. Moving on along in here. This is the pantry. Is this awesome or what? Alright. Now vent fans are not required in laundries, but we have one. It doesn't go to the exterior. 4-prong electric. Hot and cold are labeled. That's not GFCI protected. When this home was built, it wasn't required to be. Let's see if I can get behind here. Let's see if we got a gas connection back here. But we don't. You want to clean the dryer vent before you take possession of the property. I have a home inspector buddy in Arizona, and he can tell you all about not cleaning that dryer vent. Pretty bad when a home inspector burns down his own house. Not mentioning any names, Brick. Okay. So, anyway, this door should have a self-closing spring. And that's the plumbing section. That's the plumbing and appliances.